about pressure. I want you to think about it. What do you think when you think of the word pressure? How do you work with pressure? What do you do when there is pressure? And I'm going to tell you, there's three things that people do when there's pressure. But before I go there, I want to share with you a story. There was a time I'm working with a developing business, and I was there to help them diversify, help them create new income streams, help them grow. And when I became an entrepreneur, I kind of forgot what worked. So when I felt the pressure, I did something that didn't work as an entrepreneur. But yet I had done it before so many years in the corporate realm, in the business realm. And so I remember one time I was looking to build a business up, and I would drive down a freeway and I saw this amazing company. It would be a perfect fit to do business with us. I was looking to get the leads through the trade shows and, through my sales team, getting the leads through the sales team, trying to get it through the magazine ads, trying to get it through every way possible, get these leads. Yet I'm driving down the street. I was in California, Southern California at the time, driving down on the 405 freeway, southbound, and on the left side, I see this perfect company that I know we could help. I know I could serve them. So I'm like, that would be the perfect company. I wish I would have their leads. I wish I knew who the contact was. And so after driving back and forth several times, one day I'm like, you know what? Time to exit right. So I pulled up, I exited, went to the office, and there's a gate, the resistant points. And so in life, when there is pressure, and I was under pressure, let me tell you, a few years in now, they brought me in to help diversify the business, to help grow the business. And it's now a few years in, and it's not changing at the level I wanted to see it change. I wasn't bringing the international clients the way I really felt was necessary for us to diversify the business so we could grow the multiples, so that the company and the family could exit at a much higher multiple. And I remember just looking off the exit, and I'm like, that's the company. That's the company we need. And by the way, that was the first time I identified that. I was driving around, seeing the clients with my reps, and then I'm like, that would be a company. That's the company I wish we had a meeting with. And so this kept going through my mind. And one day I'm like, this is the time. The pressure is big enough. And how many of you just in the comments say, you know what, I'm right there. The pressure is high right now. Put in a chat, put in the comments right now, me. Like, you're feeling it. The pressure is there. Like, you got to show up. It's time. Like, the phone has been ringing. The door has been knocking. The red light on your dashboard is on. Check engine light. It's on. Like, you're ready. This is it. The pressure has built up. It's ready. The time is now. Okay. And you're probably going to do one of these three things. I'm going to share that in a second. Long story short, I get off the exit. I go in the next level of pressure. There's a gate down. Like, you can't get in. You can't get into the parking lot, let alone to the front office. I remember that day, I'm like, I got to get in. This is it. My time's up. This company gets to see a return on their investment called Ash. Some of you have been investing in your business. You've invested with the right person. You got the right coach. Maybe, for some of you, many of you is Shanda or myself. You got the right coaches. You've invested your time. You're watching this right now. You're watching it. And you're getting called to invest at the next level. You're getting called to start answering the call. You're getting called to go get the door. You're getting called to take the darn car to the mechanic before you burn the engine. You get it? See, your time, your energy, your effort, your investments is the engine. You're going to burn it out if you don't take action, if you don't move. So that morning I was like, I got to move. And so here's the secret. You got to be shameless. Because what I did is I followed the next employee right in. I just went right in the gate. I went in and parked the car. I went to park the car in the guest area. And then I shamelessly walk into the building to the front desk. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go to the front desk just yet. I sat in the lobby. I sat in the lobby and just connected with people as they were walking by. Hey, what's your name? Yeah, tell me what brings you to the company today. And I was just connecting with people, asking questions. I'm like, who are you meeting with today? And I was taking notes mentally, and I was writing them down on the side. I was putting in my cell phone on the side as soon as they would walk away to their appointment. And I was writing down, getting connections, getting in a relationship with who are the people in this company that I need to meet with. And this is about the same time, by the way, that LinkedIn was launching. It was like just months within LinkedIn launching, which LinkedIn is an amazing tool. You can kind of create that in a different way. And I also believe that there's something to be said about taking this level of action, because this has you build your confidence. Now, I didn't take my sales reps with me. I knew it was up to me. I didn't need anyone else on my team to do this. It was time for me to show up like that. It's what made me successful. It's what made me be, someone that they could rely on. And so I went back to the basics, and I went in, sat down, introduced myself, connected with people, connected with partners, potential partners, connected with associates, connected with people that run the company. Then I went to the front desk and said, hey, you know what? I've heard this person's in charge of this area. What's the best way to get in touch with them? Can I get their email address? Are they available by any chance? Sure enough, they were available, and they came right down, and I got to connect with them. So what's the moral of the story? See, I want to tell you that you're under this law called pressure. If you're not under pressure, I want to tell you, you get to put yourself under pressure. You will not have a growing business unless you're under pressure. You will not have a growing business unless under your pressure. You will not grow in any relationship unless there is a level of pressure. You will not grow personally unless you are under a level of pressure. You will not grow your muscles unless they are under pressure. Come on. Can you give me a yay or a heck yeah in the chat if you're getting what I'm saying? Can you give me a truth bomb, like a B-O-M-B, like you're hearing what I'm sharing with you? Now, the question is, what do you do with your pressure? And I want to tell you, there's only 3 ways that you are working with pressure today. One is, in fact, you're not working with it. Majority of you, many of us don't work with pressure. And I want you to hear this. There's 3 ways we handle pressure. One is we avoid pressure. Come on. What's the pressure you're under right now that you've been avoiding? Put it in a chat. Put it in the comments. What's the pressure that you've been under, that you've been avoiding, that gets to be handled? You're avoiding it. Another way to say avoidance, man, if you are getting numbed out, if you're numbed out, if you can't feel it anymore, or you're crumbling under it, I want to tell you that it isn't going to grow. It's only going to grow in pressure. It isn't going to go towards the place you want to go. If you're checked out with it, it's not going to happen. It's time to let go of the shaming, the blaming, and the guilting that we create for ourselves and other people in the world. It's time to take action. Today is the day to take action. So you know the area you're under pressure, but if it's finding new customers, you got to get in whatever your building is. You got to get in front of the people that make the decision. You got to reach out to them, and you got to let go of what they're going to think about you. You got to let go of your belief that it may not happen. Hey, if you're not having the pressure, you're not playing a big enough game. And if you're under pressure and you're avoiding it, numbing out, it's time to move. It's time to find a way to connect, generate a relationship, and move people forward that you are being called to serve. So number 1, you may be avoiding. Number 2, you're wrestling with it. You're wrestling with it. You're fighting the pressure. You're fighting it. You're fighting that it's your vision. You're fighting that it's your purpose. You're fighting that it's your passion. So if you have an interpretation in your mind that, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm not sure if this is my passion. I don't know if this is the right business. I'm not clear if this is the way I got to go. I'm not sure if my heart's in it. I don't think I could do it. I just talked to you. This is what you're doing with your pressure. You're in question. You're in wonder. You're in your thoughts. You're emotionally locked up. It's time to unlock from that. Hey, it won't be your passion until you make something of it. It won't be your purpose unless you make something of it. It will not be your calling until you answer the call. So the time is now. Put it right now. Put now in the chat if you're ready right now. You are clearly ready to not be in wrestle, not in be a fight with this pressure, but to take it on right now, to move it forward right now. Take the next action right now. Unless if the answer is no. If the answer is no, you're in the wrong place. You should be working for somebody else. I don't want to say to work for someone else because you shouldn't be working with someone else. You get to bring this calling to life because you don't know how valuable you are, how needed you are, how people have been waiting for you to show up. It's time. There is no more time. It's now. So if you're in wrestle, it's time to win the wrestle. And let me tell you how you can win the wrestle. It is a simple choice. It's a simple choice. Why? Because it's a choice. Not because you have to, not because you need to. Don't be in scarcity. Make a choice today and make it now. You're ready. Now, here's the third way that people handle pressure. And I'll call those people leaders. The way leaders handle pressure is they work with it. They don't wrestle with it. They don't avoid it. They take it on. They take it on head on. And they take the simple action. They take the simple action. They don't have expectation, some big thing is going to happen, but they take the simple action to get into the next stage of it. For me that day, the simple action was be shameless. Let's go to the gate. Just first of all, get off this freaking freeway. There's a lot of traffic and you know you need to be in there. You've been called for this. People have invested in you. And let me tell you that people have invested in you. They've invested with you. So you got to have power. People have invested in you. They said they believe in your vision. People have invested in you by giving you space and time to handle this. People have invested in you by listening to you. People are investing in you every single day. Myself right now, Shanda and myself invest in you every day right here. So it's time for you to not wrestle with it, not avoid it, but to be powerful with the calling you've got. It's time to step in. It's time to step in. It's time to step in. It's simpler than you think. Remember I said, there was a time I was relying on the events. I was relying on my expertise. I was relying on people, my own team to bring and generate leads and opportunities to me. And it wasn't until I took to the streets. It wasn't until I took to the streets and chose to get off the off-ramps and chose to take the churn and chose to get out of the car and actually knock on the door that it actually happened. The greatest business opportunities came out of those, not out of the trade shows. See, you got to be that unique self that you're being called to be. Building a business requires you to get out of the car. And it requires you to get into the gateways. It requires you to go into the meeting rooms. And it requires you to move the business forward. If you're trying to have that happen for you, all you're doing is saying, I want to be under pressure, but in a way that I think is comfortable. And you know what? That's a polarity. It's just not going to happen. So my request for you is today, right now, how many people will you reach out to? Not just send out an email, not just do an Instagram post, not just do a Facebook post, not just to get on LinkedIn and throw a couple of messages out there, but how many people will you put yourself in front of? Put yourself under enough pressure that is happening. Just recently, I asked our client base, I said, listen, it's time for you to get out and do an offer for Black Friday. You know what I found? Out of all the people on there, there was 3-4 people immediately said, I have a Black Friday offer. We're ready to go. This is just before Thanksgiving. I mean, literally, the week of Thanksgiving, this was the answer. And I said, what is this? You guys aren't in business. You're in busyness. You're busy trying to be in business that you're not putting yourself in front of the real clients that are ready to buy from you. And just recently, when I was at our event, at the Zone event, just this last week, how many of you were in Zone event in the comments? What did you experience? What did you notice? Come on. What did you notice? Did you all have a blast? I know I had a blast serving. I know Shanda had a blast serving. It wasn't comfortable. I'm telling you, it was not comfortable, but it was powerful. So let me just say this. Every time you feel pressure, I want you to feel your power. See, what needs to change is not only how you handle pressure, it's your relationship with pressure. See, pressure makes a lot of people fold. So relabel pressure. Let's label pressure my power. My pressure is my power. My pressure is my power. My pressure is my power. Put in the chat, power. What's your power right now? Let's create power. So I couldn't believe that only 3 people out of all of our clients immediately said they had an offer for Thanksgiving. They had an offer for Black Friday, one of the busiest shopping days in the world, and they did not have an offer. And so at the event, several people came up to me and said, thank you for that pressure. I said, what'd you create? He goes, man, I got sales and I didn't think I could even get one. I'm like, see, whenever we're under pressure, it's actually power. So many people don't act with their power. So today, I want you to put right now in the comments below, what will be your power? Where are you taking action today? How will you generate your revenue today? How will you create it today? Today is either going to be an expense of your energy, your time, and your investments, or it will be a profit day for you. So what will you create today? And you got to get in front of real clients, real customers, just like I did then. It wasn't relying on a trade show. It wasn't relying on a Facebook post. It wasn't relying on an Instagram post. It wasn't relying on another relationship. What it was dependent on is me showing up, getting off the freeway, going to the gates, getting in the gates, getting in front of people. And that I duplicated that for 5 years over. And that's how that business grew to over $600 million. That's one of the ways. I mean, of course, there's a lot of other people involved. But what I want you to know is you have the same level of power. It's time to answer the call. Thank you all for joining today. In the comments, share with me what we created, what stood out to you. I look forward to seeing you all, and Shanda will be back with you all tomorrow. Much love.